86 in anything they were talking about, including killing people. Donald Trump is now trying to co-prosecute the criminal case against James Comey by inventing dialogue. Donald Trump's criminal defense lawyer, who won him 34 guilty verdicts in a Manhattan criminal trial for business fraud in his payoff scheme to porn star Stormy Daniels, is now Donald Trump's acting attorney general, who, in a desperate attempt to win a nomination from Donald Trump to become the actual attorney general, has humiliated himself by obtaining the goofiest federal indictment in history, charging James Comey with threatening the life of the president by posting on Instagram this photograph of terrifying seashells. We await Donald Trump's social media team's search of every screenplay ever written, but in the meantime, it's worth noting that the most acclaimed gangster film of all time, which is also possibly the most acclaimed film of all time, The Godfather, does not have anyone saying 86. Nor does the sequel, Godfather 2 or Godfather 3. The Godfather won Best Picture in the 1973 Oscars and Best Actor for Marlon Brando and Best Adapted Screenplay for Mario Puzo and Francis Ford Coppola. That same year, the Best Original Screenplay Oscar went to the Best Movie About Politics ever written by first-time screenwriter Jeremy Larner. And in that film, that was made the same year as The Godfather, the term 86 does appear as grooming advice to the candidate Robert Redford.
For starters, we got to cut your hair at 86 to sideburns.
The James Comey prosecution is, of course, outrageous. It is beyond outrageous, but in the age of Trump, outrage takes real energy, and none of us has an unlimited supply of outrage energy. And so I, for one, in our coverage of this story, have decided to treat it as the jurisprudential joke that it is, and to save the outrage for Donald Trump ripping up the deal Iran signed with the United States in an agreement with President Obama, negotiated by Secretary of State John Kerry, and joined by the United Kingdom, France, Germany, Russia, and China, in which Iran promised in writing to never develop a nuclear weapon and agreed to strict monitoring conditions everywhere in Iran to make sure they were not developing. Donald Trump ripped up that deal in his first term as president, and now Donald Trump is outrageously waging a war in an attempt to get that deal again with Iran. 13 Americans have been killed in that war for no reason. Dozens seriously injured. Thousands of Iranians killed. A girls' school targeted by an American missile, killing hundreds of people. Donald Trump achieved nothing by killing those girls in their school. So I save my outrage for the people who are dying in Africa tonight because Donald Trump and Elon Musk and Secretary of State Marco Rubio took life-saving medicine away from those people. Babies born with AIDS in Africa because Donald Trump and Elon Musk took their mother's HIV medicine away from them during their pregnancies. Food that was on its way to delivery in a famine zone in Africa to starving people, stopped by Elon Musk and allowed to rot in a warehouse. Too many people are dead tonight because of the capriciousness and vicious cruelty of Elon Musk working under Donald Trump's authority and producing what Bill Gates, whose foundation has done so much life-saving work in Africa, called, quote, the world's richest man killing the world's poorest children. That's where our outrage belongs. James Comey is going to be fine. James Comey's not in trouble. The only question is when the case will be thrown out of court. No one is better equipped to defend himself against a ridiculous Trump indictment than a former FBI director, a former federal prosecutor, James Comey, who has a team of the best possible lawyers who will crush Donald Trump's clownish acting attorney general who was Donald Trump's criminal defense lawyer. And so, in a news environment where what was happening to James Comey was the most outrageous thing Donald Trump was doing, then outrage would, of course, be the right frame for that story. But another way to look at it now is to see just how invaluable Donald Trump's Justice Department was willing to humiliate himself to a degree that no other person in that position has ever chosen to do. It is proof beyond a reasonable doubt that Donald Trump's acting attorney general is acting only for Donald Trump. And the legal outcome that James Comey will achieve through a dismissal or other ending of that case will be a full humiliation of Donald Trump and Todd Blanche. Complete and total humiliation of the both of them. No one will be defending that prosecution a year from now, or 5 years from now, or 10 years from now, or ever. Todd Blanche will lie about it for the rest of his life. After he leaves Donald Trump's Justice Department, he will pretend for the rest of his life that he had nothing to do with that indictment. But that indictment and the dismissal of that indictment will stand as proof in writing of just how abusive Donald Trump was, abusive to the people working for him, abusive to Todd Blanche, abusive to the Constitution, abusive to common sense. And Todd Blanche will stand convicted by history as someone who violated his oath to the Constitution by pursuing this indictment. Nothing the Trump Justice Department does will speak as simply and clearly to history as this indictment of James Comey and the eventual dismissal of the case. Every restaurant worker in America tonight is now legally smarter than Donald Trump's acting attorney general, Donald Trump. They all know what it's that simple. Donald Trump and Todd Blanche have found a way to expose themselves. Yep. And they are both too stupid to know what they have exposed about themselves.
Don't forget to hit that like, comment, and subscribe button.
War is the ultimate test of presidential
credibility. Like, comment, and subscribe.
And Donald Trump has entered his war with no credibility and continues to find new ways to damage his credibility every day. And the James Comey indictment is now helping to separate voters from Donald Trump, voters who haven't already left him. This indictment is utterly harmless to James. He has the strength to crush it, and he will. The indictment only weakens Donald Trump, humiliates Donald Trump. And weakening and humiliating Donald Trump is what is necessary to separate more and more voters from Donald Trump and Trumpism, with polls now indicating Donald Trump's approval rating is the lowest it has ever been. And so a weak, humiliated president was essentially on trial today in a Senate hearing about his war in Iran with a weak and humiliated Secretary of Defense, unable to defend his war.
Open source reporting has estimated that the military has used an outrageous number of Patriots. I'm not even going to say the numbers, but a lot of Patriots, a lot of bad rounds, JASSM-ER, Tomahawks, very expensive, exquisite. We can't make these munitions overnight, and it's clear from your budget request that you know that. Can you tell us how many years specifically is it going to take to replace these systems?
Senator, thank you for the question. I would defer to the comptroller on the amount because I think it's a lot higher than 53. If you look at long-range fires, JASSMs, LRASMs, Tomahawks, we're looking at 238 billion.
Okay,
We're looking at 40 billion for hypersonic. So I actually think it's closer to 330 billion in munitions.
Okay, how many years to replenish?